Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer and a very interesting twist in this save that started with Wigan Athletic over there in England and I got a job offer from Marseille just out of the blue, no interview, they just offered me the job and here we are at Marseille in France. So I'm not sure if I showed you this at the end of the last episode, but this is the league table. The current standings are that Marseille are in 8th place, 17 games played, 24 points. And the board requirement is for Europa League football for next season. So not quite sure why they sacked the manager because they're not too far off the pace. Hopefully we can get them in there and obviously then jobs are good 'un. I did show you the squad. I remember doing that. Aubameyang is the oldest player in the squad at 36, but he is retiring at the end of this season. So we will reclaim that. £150,000 in wages. Absolutely bonkers. But yes, we will reclaim that. And we'll show you the tactic in a second and we'll go through the players that we've got. Dynamics obviously are going to be very flat at the moment because my principles are teamwork, leadership and dedication. And you get players on board by, basically winning games and keeping players on your side. So those are the kind of two main things. At the moment, the players don't know me. So the player buy-in is going to be very flat. But hopefully, as we go through, games, hopefully win some games and get the players on side, then the player buy-in will increase. And of course, that's like a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? The more the player buy-in, increases, the more we'll win games. So both things go hand in hand. Staffing wise, we do need a chief scout. There's no chief scout here, so maybe he went with the previous manager. I'm not too sure. But I have got feelers out for a chief scout. He is employed at the moment, but he wanted like 3 times his wages at his current club. And I've offered that to him because he's a 4.5 star. So I've offered that. Whether his current club will up his wages, I don't know. But I have got feelers out for a chief scout. The training, again, I've assigned it to my assistant manager. I can never remember to come in and do it. And I was a little bit lapse at it at Wigan. I started off with, all good intentions, coming in every week or two and changing it. But in the end, I ended up just training tactical all of the time. So I've given it to my assistant manager again. It's much easier. I mean, Gobby Gaffer, I have lots of other things to think about. So I'm just having a quick look at the schedule here. Now, I've not looked at this before, and this maybe is a clue as to why the previous manager was let go. Beginning of the season, actually, they did okay. And they were, they were unbeaten until they played Montpellier on the 27th of September. But then onwards, the shiny green dots kind of disappear, and we have been losing a lot of games. Quick look at the club vision there, and yes, like I say, they want me to qualify for the Europa League. So, we'll be busting a gut to do just that. And the finances, not too sure if we're going to be able to do anything in the January transfer window. We have got 11 million in the transfer budget, but we are over the wage budget by, probably about 150,000, which is not ideal. I mean, actually, that's Aubameyang's wages. If we could get him to, convince him to leave in January, we would be balancing the books in that department and maybe able to bring 1 or 2 players in. But we have got quite a big squad. Now, I am going to read from notes for this bit because as it stands at the moment, I don't know any of these players. So I've had a look at the squad and again, a lot of new players ask, how do you set a tactic? How do you pick a formation? Well, basically, it's not rocket science. Have a look at the players you've got and, it kind of, the tactic kind of picks itself. If you've got a glut of wingers, then you play with wingers. Whether you play wing play is another matter. We're playing a gegenpress, but I don't think a wing play in the French league. I'm not quite sure, really. We'll have to see how the gegenpress works, but I have gone with a gegenpress, and I've gone with a 4-1-1-4. It's like an asymmetric tactic. So we've got Paul Lopez in goal. Not a bad keeper. I think he was here about 3.5, 4-star. Let me just get my right gear. I was trying to do it with the mouse then. Silly Billy. So let's have a look at him. And yeah, he's he's 6'2", and his aerial reach is a 10. Command of the area, 10. I mean, it may well be we'll be looking for another goalkeeper. I'm not quite sure. But he is valued at 45 million. So there must be something in him that, gives him that kind of value. So we have a complete wing back at left back. And it's Ulises Garcia. Like I say, complete wing back. He can play all up that side. So he's quite quick, very fit. Got great stamina, so he can definitely get an up and down that side. The wing back on the right hand side is Emil Holm, Swedish lad. Again, he can play all up that right hand side, but he can also play centre back. He's 6'3", so he's got a jumping reach of 16. But again, physically, he's very, very good. Crossing probably needs a little bit of work, but he's 25 years old. The first of the two central defenders, an Albanian lad, Marash Kumbula, 25 years old, 6'3", great heading, great jumping reach. He can certainly mark and tackle, so I think he will fit into this system very, very well. I mean, if you look on the squad list, all the centre backs are all listed as wide centre backs. So I'm guessing they played with 5 across the back, 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs. I'm not playing that. If you watched any of my other saves, I've kind of started a save on FC24, and that's on a different channel. And I found that playing 3 across the back doesn't give you enough attacking intent. So I'm guessing, football's universal, isn't it? I'm not playing 3 across the back. I'm just playing the 2. And the other one is Leonardo Belerde. Again, 6'2", good jumping reach, good heading, very composed player. I think we've got him as a ball playing defender. Yes, we have. But again, all of my defenders are all meant to be wide centre backs. So they're going to have to hopefully fit into this system and they'll hit the ground running, really. My ball winning midfielder is Rongier, and he's 31 years old. He's French lad, but very, very good stats. And as you would expect, lots of experience and lots of kind of orange stats there, which is kind of what you want, really. I'm trying this lad as a DLP. He's meant to be an advanced playmaker. We'll see. I mean, it's very early days with this, but he's got great vision, passing technique, very determined player. I have a few players for that position, so we can rotate a lot. 2 inside forwards on the pitch. The left side one, he can play attacking mid as well. Quite a versatile player, this lad. A 28-year-old Amin Harit. And again, lots of orange stats. So very agile, great at dribbling, flair, vision, technique, all top notch. So hopefully he will do it. I mean, his crossing's very low, but he's an inside forward, so he's going to be coming in and supporting the forwards. On the other side, we've got 27-year-old Ismail Sarr, and very quick lad, very quick, but he can play on the left as well. Right-footed, but we're playing him as an inside forward. He can play in 2 other positions as well, so quite handy. Now I've decided to go with 2 strikers. We actually only have kind of 3 strikers in the team, if you will. But let's see how it goes. Ndiaye, let's have a quick look at him. So he's down as an advanced forward, but can play on that right-hand side if I need him to. I think this lad is going to be a very good player for us. 25 years old, Ilman Ndiaye, and we'll have to see. It's all try and test this system, isn't it, to begin with. I don't suppose I expect to win the first game. It's against Toulouse. They are lower down in the table than us, but we'll have to see. And playing alongside him, we've got Vitinha, Portuguese lad, 25 years old. Well, the only orange stat he's got is very brave. but he's going to play the pressing forward. He's got aggression of 14. He's quite quick, so I would probably expect to see. I'm not quite sure. He has been the striker this season, I think. So basically, 16 appearances, 7 goals, 1 assist, 6.88. So he's not been ripping up trees, but maybe been playing as a lone striker. He might play better with a partner next to him. And then just reading from my notes, I did write down the positions here. So we've got Faris who can play up front. We do have 1 or 2 suspensions at the moment. So 1 or 2 players who maybe would have started are not starting. Over on that right-hand side, we've got Way as well. He can play on that right-hand side. Left side, we've got Enrique. We'll have a look at these players if and when they come on. Centre mid, we've got Bernabé. Defensive midfielder, we've got Kondogbia. The wing backs, we've got Merlin and we've got Klaus. And centre backs, we've got quite a lot of centre backs, as you would expect. I do think they were playing with 3 centre backs. So we've got, the 5 are Kumbula, Balerde, Mbemba, Guijo, and McKenna. And we do have another goalkeeper as well, Blanco. So it looks like we're going to need to turn this form round. Certainly the league form has been pretty abysmal. What's that? The last 6 games, we've only won 2 and lost 4 of them. Although one of them was against PSG. So, I mean, that's fair dues, isn't it? But today we have Toulouse away. Will be a tough game. And then we've got the French Cup 9th round. And again, it's another away game against Montpellier. Okay, so we've had a quick look round there. I mean, more information to impart as we come across it. But I think the best thing to do now is get into a couple of games. And let's get into the dugout. And it's Toulouse FC. And we've already been through the team. So we're going to play Gegenpress on a positive mentality. In possession, obviously it's a Gegenpress. So the tempo is going to be very high. Passing into space, play out of defence. We're going to try with a middle for diddle attacking width. Let's have a look in transition. Transition, we're countering, counter-pressing. I always like to roll the ball out from the back, either to the centre-backs or full-backs. I don't believe in long ball, unless we chase in a game, but even then, it very rarely works, that. And out of possession, we've got a higher defensive line, high line of engagement. It's actually, for the Gegenpress, it's the tackling is stay on feet, but I do like to get stuck in. I will change that if we're getting too many yellow cards, but get stuck in, step up more, and trigger the press much more often. Okay, so my first game in the French league, and let's see what we can do. I would have expected a decent result out of today normally, but with it being my first game, I'm not quite sure. But we do get the first highlight. We're playing with an orange ball, don't you know? Can we get that ball in the back of the net? Sarr has actually put the ball in the back of the net. And that looks like we've scored a goal. And we're 1-0 ahead. And that's quite a nice little start after 7 minutes. To be quite honest, I was preparing a little bit of a speech there. I wasn't really expecting to score after 7 minutes. But that was quite nice. Quite a nice little finish. I kind of expected today to be... lots of buffoonery going on, lots of losing the ball, lots of stray passes. I've not been the manager that long. Football Manager tends to work like that. You don't start getting a fluent team until you've been in charge for a while. But anyway, Toulouse are coming forward now, down that left-hand side. Lovely little ball into Sierra. Can we block this off now? Obviously, I don't know any of these players at all, so I'm going to struggle with the names. And let's see how we go with this. I mean, these lads need to show me. They dropped into a back 5 there, I just noticed. But good save there from Lopez, though. So that's quite nice from my keeper. That's the first thing I've seen him do that, it was positive, and that has got to be a positive thing. So corner's coming in now. So it looks like when we've not got the ball and we're under pressure, it looks like we dropped to like a back five, which should see us, nicely compact at the back. Anyway, it's all Toulouse at the moment now. We're winning 1-0. Hamer now, what's he going to do with this free kick? And is he going to... No, he slings it right over the top. Not an amazing crowd, I have to say, today, but I don't think Toulouse are one of the fancied teams, so I'm not quite sure whether we get to see what the attendance is. Okay, we're back with another Marseille corner. Harrit now swings the ball over, and very, very nearly in the back of the net, that one. Another goal now on 23 minutes would be amazing. Harrit is going to have a second bite of the cherry. He's going to float this ball in again. I have gone for, when I've set the set pieces up, I've gone for near post corners and in swings as well. Harrit now. Again, can we get this on somebody's head? And that ball is in the back of the net. And Kumbula, he's the centre-back, is he? Kumbula is the centre-back. So one of the centre-backs has got... so that's two defenders, is it? Is it two defenders? No, it isn't. Sarr scored the first goal. I know I'm looking like a bit of a buffoon here, but this is my first... I've only been in the manager's chair 2 days, so I'm getting to know everything. 10 shots, 7 on target, XG 1.28. Possession's been middle for diddle, really. But 2-0 up, very, very nice. So we've had a centre-back and an right inside forward score the 2 goals for us. And Ndiaye now coming forward. Garcia, our left wing-back, surging into the area. And I think he's hit the post with that one. Sarr chasing this ball down. Do we get... Yes, we do get the throw-in. But obviously doesn't warrant a highlight. Okay, we're going in at half-time. And, well, we are going to say we're very pleased. Let's just have a quick look, because I don't know the fitness of these players or anything. I have no idea what the fitness has been like all season. We don't look too bad at the moment, so I think we're just going to carry on. Although 2 wing-backs have both picked up yellow cards, so we do have to be a little bit aware of that. I'm just wondering whether we should take the get stuck in off for the rest of this game. Stay on feet. We don't want either of those wing-backs getting a second yellow card. So let's move into the second half. And we've definitely been the better of the 2 sides here, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I've got 2 strikers on the pitch and neither of them have scored. But maybe they're making space for other players to, to score goals and whatever. Anouar, is he called? Balerdi now with the ball. He's a centre-back. And, well, he's dribbling himself round there. I'm not quite sure what he was doing. Very, very poor ball there from the ball-winning midfield player. And Toulouse are coming forward. And is that tipped over? Lopez has tipped that ball over. I think he could have caught that. Okay, so ball now. He's going to... this is going to be an in-swinger. And is he going to hit the near post? Yes, he is. Anouar there is... first to that ball, heads it out, and it is a throw-in. So 66 minutes on the clock, just about to make some subs. Very, very comfortable in this game. Harrit there plays the ball to Holm, and Holm strikes it past the keeper. And to be fair, that was a bit of a howler from the keeper. I mean, he should have had that covered. It wasn't. It was a bit of a P-roller, if I'm honest. I mean, let's have another look at that one. But it looked like a bit of a P-roller to me. Harrit there plays a nice ball across to Holm, who, I mean, to be fair, it probably did have a little bit of pace on it. Maybe the keeper was unsighted. Holm now, I'm not getting a chance to make these subs. We are getting more highlights here. 3-0 now. Our XG and shots on target are looking very, very good indeed. But a ball out there from Toulouse, and they have got us on the breakaway here. There's not an awful lot of support. And he's going to get pushed wide with that. No, they come in central. They've got 1 or 2 players up now. The ball's in the back of the net, and it is 3-1. And the referee's running away to the centre circle. So that goal does stand. So maybe a little bit of tiredness. Maybe I should have made the substitutions. 70 minutes on the clock. I've changed all the back lines. So Merlin, Guijo and Bemba and Klaus have all come on. 4 substitutions. I've gone to a low block now and we've gone to a cautious mentality. Let's try and keep this 3-1 nice and tight and get the 3 points. First game in charge, that would be a brilliant. So 16 shots, 9 on target, XG of 1.69, and we are shading the possession now. And it looks like we are going to come away with the 3 points here, and the low block and the cautious attitude now. And well, we're getting no more highlights, which is fine by me. And as the game comes to a close, we are getting a message from the assistant manager there, just to make the final substitution. And we're running to 4 minutes of time added on. And this is a nice win. A game I probably would have, in normal circumstances, I would have expected to win that game. You know, being the manager in the first game, anything could happen, couldn't it? Really, but it looks like the formation and the tactic that's set has definitely worked in that game. Whether it'll continue to work, I don't know. Well, we're going to give the lads a delighted, never mind pleased. They deserve a massive pat on the back for that. And well, with that, can we finish the season now? Because that's the board requirement. I think that 6th position is, well, is that going to be Europa? Or did they do conference? I'm sure they do Conference League in the French First Division. But that I think that's a Europa. Can we finish the season now? Because I've sorted my objective out. Okay, well, let's not get too carried away. 1 game in charge over here in France. I'm still trying to learn the language. I'm still trying to get used to my players. We have a cup game next against Montpellier. So if I remember rightly, looking at the schedule, that's kind of where it went pear-shaped, nearer the beginning of the season, the Montpellier game. So I think this will be difficult. And it is another away game. I'll see you in the dugout. So just before we get into that, I am being recommended here. A 26-year-old striker, Terem Mofi from Nice. 4-star player, 4 million. Just look at this lad's stats. 17 for acceleration, 16 for balance, 16 for jumping reach, 17 for pace, and 17 for... He must be a monster in the penalty area. 6'2" and left-footed. Quite useful. You know what? At 4 million, I think I might put a bid in for him. We've got 11 million to spend, so I might put a bid in for him. And I think that's a very good price if they'll accept that. Let's see if they'll accept it. They have accepted it. I mean, is it a little bit too early to be making offers for players? 4 million though. If it had been 40 million, I mean, I would have taken a bit more time. But 4 million, we do need a striker. If we're going to play a 2-striker system, we need backup. And I don't think either of the 2 strikers in that last game set the world on fire. So this lad looks a monster in the penalty area. I think we're just going to finalise that offer. But of course, as per usual with Football Manager, the transfer story has been leaked. So the chances are we're probably not going to get him. But anyway, it's been accepted. Let's start negotiations with him. I'll be very surprised if he comes now. But anyway... long-term aim, I think we're going to have to accept everything. Normally, I would take things out, but seeing as he's been looked at by other... I mean, it always baffles me with football. It doesn't baffle me. I know what the AI is doing. But you can have a player who sits there on the transfer market for a year, and you'll be looking at him, and then eventually you think, you know what, we'll go for him. And as soon as you put a bid in, it's, oh, transfer story leaked. And everybody else, every man and his dog wants to sign him. And eventually somebody else will come in and snatch them from under your nose. It's a typical FM tactic. But so one of the ways you can avoid that is by giving them everything that they want. I normally wouldn't say... I would take that qualify for the Champions League out, because if you don't attain that, then he'll get a grumpy on. But I am going to leave that in. Negotiate a contract. He wants to sign in on field 1.2 million. I normally take those out. But we are going to give him what he wants. In fact, I mean, bearing in mind Aubameyang's on £150,000 a week. You know what? We're going to give him a bit more money. We're going to give him 32,000 and he's a 5-year contract. Finalise the deal and let's hope we get him. And the chief scout has arrived. Now we're paying Genoa £350,000 compensation, don't you know? But he was employed by Genoa. He was on £6,500 a week there. He's come to us on £16,000 a week. So I'm splashing the cash in my first week as Marseille manager. But I've just noticed the French league shuts down for December. We played Toulouse on the 12th of December. We don't have another game now till the 4th of January. I'll see you very soon. So here we go. On in my second game. The buffoonery has started. African Cup of Nations. We've lost 6 players. We've lost 2 more players with really bad injuries. The centre forward we were after. I hate it when you can predict this game so well. I predicted he wouldn't come to us. He hasn't come to us. He's gone elsewhere. So that super duper striker that looked like a monster in the penalty area, we're not getting him. We actually could have done with him because Ndiaye's gone away to the African Cup of Nations. And as you can see there, even on the bench, we've got players. So I'm going to have to put out now a very weakened team, I think. Okay, shenanigans ahoy. Can't even put a bench together, so I've only got a bench of 6 players, I think. I've had to abandon my 2-striker system already. So Bernabe's had to come on and play as a shadow striker. My wing back and my left inside forward can't play together. That dotted line means that those players in those positions are not a good fit. So that's not great. Anyway, the team for today is going forward here. There's nothing else I can do. So it's Lopez in goal. Merlin, Kumbula, Balerdi and Holm across the back. We've got 2 in midfield, Kondobia and Veretout. Veretout is on the list at the moment. He was on the list when I joined, so not quite sure about that. The 2 wing backs are Harrit and Weyer. Weyer, there's a big offer just come in for him. He's a £50 million player. They came in with 35. I've actually bumped it up to 45 because, as we've seen there, I am going to need some new players. And if I have to sacrifice one to bring some money in, that's all I can do, really. Bernabe's going to play the shadow striker, and Vitina is up top. And by the way, I played 2 friendly games in that kind of, well, I don't know what it was. I'm not sure what it is in France, but they have most of December off. But we did play 2 friendlies and won them both. Whether that'll keep us nice and fresh and fit, but I am playing a lot of kind of second team players here, if you will. They're certainly not my what I would class as my first 11, but you never know. Some players might step up and they might surprise me. And as we kick off this game, I am getting messages about I'm playing players who are not fit to play. There's not an awful lot I can do, really. So anyway, so Montpellier did have the ball there, but we come away with it now. Weyer, our £50 million player on that right-hand side. If he goes, I was a bit surprised actually, because like I say, they offered 35 million. I added 10 million to it. Some of it is over Weyer. Nice goal from Weyer. That's a nice header. Lovely ball into him as well. Planted it straight on his head. And after 4 minutes, we're 1-0 ahead. Yeah, like I say, they offered 35 million. I added 10 million to it. There are instalments involved, but I think I've gone for something like 25 million up front, 15 million on instalments, or is it 40, 45 million? Can't remember now, but we're getting a sizable chunk up front. Hopefully that'll allow me to go out. We are in the transfer window now. Hopefully that'll allow me to go out and sign a few players. So Montpellier having the best of the game at the moment, although we are 1-0 ahead. But they've had more shots on target, and they are bringing the game to us. But that's nicely cut out there. Bernabe now through the middle. Get onside. Harrit now. Lovely ball. Vitina did listen to me. He did get onside. Another ball to Weah in the back of the net. The flag is up though. It will not count. Back with a corner. Veretout, who like I say is on the transfer list. It may well be if he puts in a decent performance today, I might take him off the transfer list. Not quite sure what his value is, but anyway, home there. Vitina is in the back of the net, and that was another howler by a goalkeeper. And we are getting we're getting some help from opposing goalkeepers, aren't we? Let's have a look at this one again. Maybe it was being a bit disingenuous, but header from home. Oh, and that was the howler, biggest howler of howlers. That was shocking goalkeeping. But as you can see there, 6 shots, 3 on target, an XG of 0.52 though. So we are winning 2-0 now, and we are pulling ourselves, well, not pulling ourselves back into the game, but shots now 7, 4 on target, XG of 1.01. So stats wise now, we've gone ahead of Montpellier. So as in the last game, we are going to say we're very pleased. Let's just have a look and see if there's any tiredness in the camp. We don't look too bad at the moment, given that I've had to make a lot of changes, and apparently quite a few of my players are unfit and not able to play. I don't know. Let's get on with the second half. So back with another highlight. Can we win our first 2 games? This would be absolutely brilliant. So Merlin there, working a bit of magic. See what I did there? Merlin working a little bit of magic there on that side. And that comes to nothing. No, it's actually a corner. So Veretout again going to try and put this on somebody's head. Can he? He does. Kumbula again gets his head on the ball. He scored in the last game, but this time it sails over the bar. Veretout now with a free kick. And the keeper actually gets to that one and makes up for his howler in the first half. That actually could have been 3-0 then. It's a well-taken free kick. Merlin now trying to work his magic on this side. It's never going to get old, that one. Merlin again now. What's he going to do with this? Slides the ball into Kumbula. Pula back out to Veretout. Kongobia. Harrit. Oh, I was just going to say, Harrit slides the ball into the back of the net and it actually didn't come off. What a shame. Okay, a rare incursion now for Montpellier, but they look like a very, very poor side. This is our first appearance, apparently. We come in at the 9th round, so this is our first appearance in the French Cup. And this time, it is in the back of the net. And Harrit, I think it was Harrit who slid that ball previously that hit the post. This time he makes no mistake, and it's 3-0 to Marseille, and we're actually running away with this game now. I'm not sure where Montpellier are. I don't know what league they're in, but they look a very poor outfit, if I'm honest. Back with the free kick, Banabi now. I think Banabi is quite a decent player. He was a touch and go whether I played him in the first game. Weah now out on the other side. Kumbula, back to Weah. Is he going to fire it into the back of the net? He certainly is, and that is a very nicely well-taken goal by Weah. And am I making a mistake selling him? We have to raise some money somehow. We will be getting £150,000 back at the end of in wage budget at the end of the season with Aubameyang retiring. So that's going to help us wages-wise. But I do think we need a couple of bodies in. Having looked at the squad, we do need a couple of bodies in. And maybe a striker or 2, I don't know. Okay, we are going to make some subs, 71 minutes. As you can see, I've got a depleted bench, so my options are a little bit limited. Where's Enrique play? I'm just looking at my notes again. Enrique plays on that left side. So I think we are going to replace Enrique. And who else can we replace? We don't have any other right wingers, I don't think. Both my right wingers, apart from Weah, both my right wingers are either suspended or away. McKenna plays centre-back. Davis plays... this is terrible, isn't it? I'm not quite sure where Davis plays, actually. I think Davis... Let's have a quick look. I think he's a left wing back. He is. He's 32, but you know what? He's going to come on from Merlin. And who else can we bring on? I think we'll bring Guijo on at the back. We'll keep one in abeyance. So 24 shots, 9 on target. There's no reason to play cautious in this game now. Montpellier are not going to come back at us, are they? And we do come back again. Another highlight. Close there, and the ball just over the top. And that's a shame. That would have been 5, although that would have been a bit greedy, wouldn't it? But an XG of 2.94 now. And possession's been fairly equal. But we are running into time added on. Ball over the top. Wayenhouse going to pick this up. Can we head that in the back of the net? And the flag has gone up for this one. So it's going to end up as a 4-0 win, this one, and not a 5-0 win. And that is full time. We're just going to give the players a really good pat on the back again. So first 2 games, 2 wins. I think we've played well. Certainly Montpellier were not a good side. So not the greatest of tests, but to be fair at the moment, we have a very depleted squad, and the last thing we need is a stern test. Well, not too shabby. You know, I like my 6-point episodes. Yeah, I know you're shouting at me there, aren't you? It's not a 6-point episode. One of them was a cup game, but it's 2 wins. Let's put it that way. 2-win episode. Very, very nice. Nice win against Toulouse. Pulls us up the table a little bit. But we do need to keep that going now, and that is going to be quite difficult, I think, till we get these players back from injury and from the African Cup of Nations. I think it is going to be quite difficult now going forward. And well, I'm hoping we can keep up today's momentum. Doing that with a depleted squad is going to be very difficult. But anyway, the Gobby Gaffer, very happy. 2 wins today, and I'm going to go away now and try, well, if we get that money in, I'm going to try and do a few transfers. And hopefully when I come back, we'll have played a few more games. We'll be in the Europa League spots at the very least. And we'll maybe have a couple of new faces to show you. We'll see you very shortly.